Russell Wilson has voiced his frustration with the Seattle Seahawks organization this offseason. Although he's made it clear that he wants to remain with the team, he will be willing to waive his no-trade clause to these 4 teams: the Las Vegas Raiders, the New Orleans Saints, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Chicago Bears. We're going to talk about one team on that list in this video. We're going to talk about the Chicago Bears. Yo, what's up, world? This is APW Sports signing in. And today we're going to discuss, should the Bears trade for Russell Wilson? But before I give my thoughts on that, make sure to leave this video a like. It only helps the channel to grow. And if you are a first-time viewer of this channel, go ahead right now, click that subscribe button, and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
I've personally been one to say this offseason that the Bears have a lot more questions than they do answers, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback is one glaring need, and Russell Wilson will absolutely solve that need. But I still think the Bears, even with getting Russell Wilson, is going to need some work. I still think they need to shore up an offensive line that has been at the bottom the last 2 seasons. I still think they need to shore up some wide receiver weapons. I do like Darnell Mooney a lot. We're not sure if Anthony Miller is going to be back or not, especially after the subpar season that he had in 2020. The Allen Robinson contract situation is still up in the air. It has been reported that the Bears have potential to franchise him and trade him. I feel he has a lot more offensively to offer in Seattle as far as David Moore, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. Even though Seattle's offensive line has struggled just like the Chicago Bears offensive line, I feel with him being in Seattle, he has more potential to have that contending window versus he does in Chicago on the offensive side of the ball. But when you look at the Bears defensively, you can see the Bears are drastically better defensively than the Seattle Seahawks are. But when you talk about a Russell Wilson trade to the Chicago Bears, what is going to be the package that you're going to have to give up for a guy like Russell Wilson? Now, I don't think it's going to be as big a trade package to get Russell Wilson as it would be for a guy like Deshaun Watson, but you can probably somewhere expect at least 2 first-round picks in there, especially for a guy with Russell Wilson's talent, a guy who has been in the MVP discussion, a guy who has been very productive and also very durable over the course of his NFL career. Russell Wilson added to the Bears roster does give the Bears front office a step in the right direction. It gives this Bears roster and a step in the right direction, but I 100% honestly feel that that does not solve all of the Bears' problems on offense. You still leave yourselves with a subpar offensive line, which has been his problem in Seattle the past couple of seasons with the subpar offensive line. Seattle has more weapons, I feel, as we stand right now than the Chicago Bears have. You still have to figure out Allen Robinson's contract situation. What are you going to do with that? So I feel even getting Russell Wilson, even though I feel getting Russell Wilson for the Chicago Bears will be an absolute upgrade from, let's just face it, majority of the franchise history at the quarterback position. But I still think this move does not solve all of the Bears' problems on the offensive side of the ball, especially with the offensive line that has not been very good at protecting the quarterback the past 2 seasons. Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky have taken a lot of hits behind this offensive line. One thing the Bears do have, I think, going for them, they have a strong running game, and the interior of the Bears offensive line has promise with Mustafa, with Whitehair, Daniels, and Bars. I really feel the interior of the Bears offensive line does have some potential, but the 2 tackles, I think, is a situation that the Bears are going to need to resolve because Charles Leno has not played very well the last couple of seasons. Bobby Massey was spent most of last season out with an injury, and Jermaine Ifedi was, for the most part, ineffective last season. So when you look at this Bears roster, even though Russell Wilson will be the greatest of upgrades at the quarterback position, I still think the Bears have to fix some offensive weapon pieces. Even though Russell Wilson I think is a top 5 quarterback easily in the NFL, and he will get the Bears better than 8-8. They still have questions to answer. But do I think the Bears should look into explore trading for Russell Wilson? Yes, they definitely should. But I don't think the Seahawks will be willing to trade Russell Wilson because, number one, Russell Wilson has expressed that he would like to stay with the team. And I feel the Seattle Seahawks will be in a position to capitalize on the small window that they have to be true contenders in the NFC. Russell Wilson to the Chicago Bears will be a great upgrade. Russell Wilson to the Chicago Bears will make this team better. But do I think it's a move that's going to solve all their problems? Absolutely not. Especially with the subpar play at the wide receiver position. You still have a lot of contracts to flex around, especially with the Bears. Even with the cap raise, they're still negative $6 million in the cap. So even though Russell Wilson will be a great addition, Russell Wilson will be absolutely welcome to Chicago. He will make this team a lot better. I just don't think it will be a move that will solve all of their problems, but I think it will be a move to get them better than 8-8, because when you think about it, Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles had the Bears team at 8-8 last season. Add Russell Wilson in there, I can see this Bears team easily going 10-6 and 11-5. Now, I do not think that will make them true Super Bowl contenders because of the offensive line deficiencies and because some of the wide receiver deficiencies that the Bears faced this offseason. I do think you drastically improve your offense. As much as I say I don't trust Nagy to be 100% honest, I feel Russell Wilson is talented enough to get this Bears team over the hump in 2021. If the Bears even make that trade for him, I do think that he gets this team over the hump. He gets this team into NFC contention. And with a couple of added pieces on the offensive side of the ball, you can easily see this team as Super Bowl contenders. Even though I've said previous times on this channel that I don't trust Nagy, I feel even with Russell Wilson, the Bears still have to have balance on offense. Now, getting Tariq Cohen back this season, especially after missing majority of last year with the torn ACL, does help. I still am a fan of David Montgomery and the things that he's able to do in the running game. I love Cordell Patterson and the things he's able to do with this Bears offense. So some pieces are there, but I still think the Bears have to shore up some wide receiver weapons, shore up some salary cap issues. I am not one personally that is going to get my hopes up high about the Bears actually making the trade for Russell Wilson. But to answer the question, should the Bears trade for Russell Wilson if he's made available? Abso-freaking-lutely, the Bears should trade for Russell Wilson if he's made available. But that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure to leave this video a like so help the channel to grow. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you believe that the Bears should trade for Russell Wilson? Honestly, the better question is, do you think the Bears will trade for Russell Wilson if he's made available? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, if you have gotten to this point in the video, click that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Peace.